Greetings, Pokemon fans, and welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. Today we're doing a playthrough of Pokemon Crystal with Umbreon. Umbreon is known as the Moonlight Pokemon. Let's go and watch his first battle. It's with a Wild Pidgey. Wild Pidgey will go down to 2 tackles, and we named our Pokemon Eclipse because we are the Moonlight Pokemon. Makes sense to me, makes sense to you, good. Let's move right on to our rival battle. Our rival's name is Triple Question Mark. We gave him a Totodile. There really isn't a great option for this trainer. All the starters, none of them have an advantage over Umbreon, except for, you can say maybe Meganium is more bulky, but that's about it. But we're going to Tail Whip, and then we're going to use 3 tackles, knock out the Totodile, and move right on to the next part of the game, which is this route. Now, this route is sped up, so I didn't actually play at this speed. That would have been insane. But it's sped up because I want to talk about a few things. Umbreon is completely different than Espeon. If you watch my last video, it's probably one of the most popular videos I've had in a long time. It's got almost 400 plus views. I know it may not be a lot for a lot of people if you watch a lot of Pokemon videos, but it's a lot for my channel. So we got a lot of views, so I think that's a very lucky Pokemon. But Espeon is completely different. Espeon has very high attacking, special attack, a decent attack, and almost no defense. It does have a decent special defense, but almost no defense, and it's very fast. So a lot of the things that could be problems are not problems because we can knock out the opposition so fast with that Pokemon. Umbreon's different. Umbreon does have a decent speed, so we will probably go first most of the time. However, it is considered a bulky Pokemon. It is a tank. It is not a Pokemon that's going to sit there and one-shot everything that comes across unless we get over-leveled. That might be the case. But as you look at it right now, our defense is 25 and special defense is 28. And our attack is 18 and special attack is 17 right now. So this is not a Pokemon that is built to one-shot everything. It's built to sustain battles and basically outlast the opposition. Now, that comes with some risks. The big risk with that is we are susceptible to being poisoned. We're susceptible to being put to sleep, we're susceptible to being paralyzed, we're susceptible to being confused, we're susceptible to having our accuracy lowered, we're susceptible to the opposition having or lowering or increasing their evasiveness. So that is one trade-off that happens when you have a Pokemon that really has no one-hit knockout ability unless we're over-leveled. So just keep that in mind throughout this playthrough. The problems that Espeon have are going to be vastly different than the problems that Umbreon have. So we're finishing up here Bellsprout Tower. We're almost there. Almost to the top. We're going to go ahead and face these last couple trainers. Now, we luckily did not have to go out and train or heal. We have 12 tackles left, so I'm using Tail Whips to make it so I don't have to use as many tackles anymore. So we got 2 more Pokemon left. Go ahead and use Growl, or Tail Whip I should say. And then we're going to go for Tackle. Like I said, this Pokemon's very bulky. Take a lot of hits. It's not going to be a Pokemon that's going to take too many, it's going to go down in like one shot unless it's a fighting Pokemon. That is one of our weaknesses. Fighting, and I think Bug is our other weakness. Here we go, we're almost there. We knock out the Bellsprout, we're going to knock out one more Bellsprout. And really, Bellsprout Tower is pretty obsolete. In the optimized playthrough, we will not be playing through with this. So we will save ourselves a lot of time. We'll probably get through Faulkner in less than 5 minutes, to be honest with you. So we're going to Super Send these battles, now we're going to go right on to Faulkner. He's going to come out with a Pidgey and a Pidgeotto. Pidgey is going to come out, and all it has is Tackle and Mud Slap. So we go for Tail Whip and kind of lowers defense, so Tackle can be a 2-shot. Very good. So we level up to level 13. Very good. Pidgeotto comes out. We're going to go for Tail Whip again. And I don't know why it's not prioritizing Mud Slap and lowering accuracy, but it is what it is. We get a pretty easy win over Faulkner. He's really not a problem. We do add Mud Slap as a move, just so we have it to lower accuracy, but it's actually pretty good in this tunnel because we face some rock Pokemon. So you'll see here, we are facing this Hiker. The Hiker's not really a problem. We want to go ahead and add Pursuit. So Pursuit is our first stab move. It is a 40 base power move. It is 60 with stab. And it is a dark type move. And it actually coincides pretty well with our attack stat. I actually keep getting messages that this dark moves are a special attack in Generation 1. I'm so confused about this. Bulbapedia.bulbagarden.net has it up to date for this generation. Doesn't tell you what generation it came out or whatever. It is what it is, but regardless of that, it is a stab move, and now we're upgrading Tackle to Swift, and now we're going to move right on to Bugsy's gym. We don't need to go over all the battles in here. We just want to get to a decent enough level, which is what we're doing, and so now we're going to come out and face Bugsy. Bugsy will come out with a Kakuna, a Metapod, and a Scyther. Scyther or Scyther, I keep getting comments that I'm pronouncing it wrong. Which one do you like? Put 1 if it's Scyther, put 2 if it's Scyther. Okay, so Kakuna goes down in 2 shots. And now we have the last Pokemon with this, which is Scyther or Scyther, whichever one you prefer. Pursuit, decent amount of damage. Swift, and now it's accumulating a lot of damage because Fury Cutter doubles its output every turn, kind of like Rollout. But regardless of that, we do get the win. We beat Bugsy, and we're going to move right on to our rival. Our rival isn't going to be super difficult. Ghastly is usually a problem with this with this Pokemon, but we're dark and it's weak to dark, so that's super effective. And then Zubat comes out, we're going to go for Pursuit again. We get confused. This kind of prolongs it. See what I mean by it doesn't one-shot, so you're kind of put in a position where it prolongs certain battles. But regardless of that, we do knock out the Zubat, and now we're going to go ahead and go for Croconaw. Croconaw should go down to 3 shots, and we get the win over our rival, and move right on to the forest. Now in the forest, we're going to go ahead and take a little side quest and pick up a move called Headbutt. Headbutt, 70 base power, 100% accurate, it's a normal move. Not the greatest move, it's not much more powerful than Swift to be honest, but does add a lot more power points to our move set so we can go longer without going back and healing. It also has an added benefit to being able to make the opposition flinch, and for a Pokemon that doesn't have the ability to knock things out in one go all the time, having the ability to make something flinch just to make it so they can't attack you back is good for a Pokemon that doesn't have that one-hit knockout capability like Espeon did. So if you're facing someone who can paralyze you or poison you, Headbutt can definitely be a saving grace. But now we're going to move right on to Whitney's Gym. We also had a return for this battle. So return's going to one-shot the Clefairy, and then Miltank's going to come out. Luckily, it does not go for rollout to begin with, and we also outspeed so it can't stomp and flinch us. So we get a pretty easy win over Whitney. She's really not been that hard in the last couple playthroughs I've had. We're going to move right on to Sudowoodo. Sudowoodo is a rock tree thing. And here's the thing, it doesn't have good AI, because if it was smart, it'd go for low kick every time. We are weak to fighting moves, so that would have been a move that would have been pretty detrimental to us. But I don't know why it didn't do it, but it just likes to mimic a move, and we even make it flinch and headbutt it, knock it out. And we're going to move right on to Lake of Rage. In the Lake of Rage, we're going to go ahead and show a little bit of these things while I talk here. I haven't showed these. There's a rare candy up here. You can get an elixir. There's a whole bunch of things. Also a guy that shows up there where you can get a held item for fighting Pokemon. I don't remember what it's called, but you can get that there. So I don't usually show this, but I thought I would. I haven't shown these things in a long time. So just show you, pick up an elixir here. Just some of the things that are busy work, so to speak, or errands that I like to call it. And we're going to go and cut this tree down, and we're going to talk to this guy in this hidden house, and he's going to give us hidden power. One with Hidden Power Ice. Hidden Power Ice is by far the best hidden power to use in any playthrough. So I thought that would be the best one to use here, and come to find out, it is the best one to use. So now we're with the Komodo girls, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about something I talk about every time we fight the Komodo girls, and that is this channel really requires, YouTube is a certain product that requires engagement. So you subscribing, you liking, you commenting, all those things on this video, and then subscribing to the channel and liking this video, even if it's something you don't like, hey, I didn't like how you did this, thought this strategy would have been better, that's perfectly fine. Go ahead and throw that in there. I like having the engagement. I comment back to pretty much every comment there is, as long as people are respectful, and it really does help the channel. So if you could do that, that'd be amazing. And we're getting pretty close to 500 subscribers. That's a milestone. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a lot for me, because I'm still kind of a young channel growing and trying to find my audience. So we're going to go ahead and knock out this last Jolteon with a one-shot, and we're going to move right on to our rival, and he is in the burnt down tower, and he's going to come out with a a Haunter. Haunter really isn't a problem. We are dark type, ghost Pokemon are weak to dark. Pursuit's going to be a one-shot. Very good. It's a one-hit knockout. He's going to follow that up by coming out with a Zubat. We're going to go ahead and go for Hidden Power Ice. Knock it out. Very good. Magnemite's not as big a problem with this battle, because he doesn't have Thunder Wave yet. So we knock it out in 2 goes. And now Croconaw comes out. We're going to go for Return. We hit Croconaw. It's going to be a 2-hit knockout. Very good. We get the win over our rival. Pretty easy win, to be honest with you. And we're going to fall right through the floor and go face Morty. Now, Morty is a Ghost Gym leader, so as you just saw with our rival, we have a type advantage, and we have a very effective move against him. The effective move we're going to use is Pursuit. It's going to knock out the Ghastly. He's going to follow that with 2 Haunters in a row. Haunter number 1 goes down, and Haunter number 2. He's going to go down as well. The only problem we're going to have is Gengar. He can go for Hypnosis and then Dream Eater us to death. Actually, no, he can't, because he can't use Dream Eater on us. So the only thing he could have done was Shadow Ball, which we would have resisted because, we're Dark type. And so we knock him out. Actually, I think, no, Shadow Ball can't hit us either. So he really had nothing to do against us other than Mean Look or put us to sleep. So that would have been a foregone conclusion. Now we're facing old Chucky Boy. Now we actually have the type disadvantage here. The disadvantage we have right now is, if he'd have gone for Karate Chop, could have done a lot of damage there. And luckily, Chuck's pretty dumb. We do confuse him, so now we're going to go for a Return. And we're going to 2-hit knockout on Return with 2 confusions hitting Poliwrath. Really wasn't that bad of a battle. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and beat him and go right toward the Lake of Rage. Lake of Rage, we're going to go back there and fight the red Gyarados. And he's going to come out, and he's all hulked out. That's why he's red. Return will two-shot the red Gyarados. Very good. Battles are flowing really right along right now. And we're going to skip, talking to Lance, and we're going to go and fight Price. Price is going to come out with nothing really here is like, he's not weak to us, we're not weak to him, so everything's pretty neutral across the board. So the first Pokemon comes out is Seal. We're going to go for Return. Return one-shots the Seal. Very good. Dugong comes out, and it'll be a two-shot on Dugong. Very good. Knock it out. And Piloswine is the last Pokemon. We're going to go for Return. It is a two-shot. We do get hit by Fury Attack, but it's a two-shot knockout. We beat Price. A pretty easy win. Now, here is the gym leader I was most concerned about coming up right here. And that is, we got to talk to Empress first. So Jasmine's, with the Empress. He flashed us after we give him some medicine. Feels a lot better now. And we're going to go face Jasmine. Right now we're saving, because you never know. And we're going to go ahead and face Jasmine. She is the steel type leader. And she has two Magnemites. Both of them have the ability to paralyze us. So I was really concerned about that. We're going to go for Confuse Ray. And hopefully he can't hit us, but we do have a berry equipped to heal. Go for Hidden Power Ice. He's going to hit himself. Hidden Power Ice one more time should knock it out. Or Return, that works too. And now we're going to go ahead and face the second Magnemite. We don't want to get paralyzed. He paralyzes us anyway, so I thought, well, this might be a foregone conclusion, but I decided to ride out the battle, see what happens. And it doesn't really do any damage to us. One good thing about Umbreon is we have a lot of bulk, so it didn't damage us. So now we're going to go for Confuse Ray. Iron Tail isn't really doing that much. That's good. So we're going to go for, we went for Hidden Power Ice. We don't hit again. It's confused. It's hitting itself a little bit, so it's helping us out a smidge. We're almost at the knockout point, but I'm pretty sure it heals up. Yep, it heals right up. Hidden Power gets us back down about 40% damage, 45% damage what it's doing. And Confuse Ray again. He knocks out a Confusion. And we're just going to go for the Broke. Yep, we do it. We power through the paralysis, and we get the win over Jasmine. And with no reset so far, we're going to move right on into our fourth rival battle. He's going to come out with I believe it's a Golbat is what he starts with. Yep, Golbat comes out. Hidden Power Ice should one-shot Golbat, no problem. Next Pokemon he's going to throw out at us is a Magnemite. He's going to go for the Paralysis. We're going to go for the Confusion. He hits himself. We should do Hidden Power or Return, whichever one. Either one's going to be a two-shot. We get Paralyzed, which is not fun. But again, this is one of the benefits of being bulky. Even though we're paralyzed, we're still going to be able to take a lot of hits from the opposition. Return a one-shot to Sneasel. Leaves us down to two Pokemon. Now, for Alligator, usually it's a two-shot, as long as we can hit it. And we'll get the knockout with a second Return. We have a lot of health left for the Haunter. We just have to hit a Pursuit. Or Feint Attack. We just have to hit Feint Attack. One time. And Shadow Ball can hit us. I was wrong when I said that earlier. It's just not super effective. We're just resistant to it. So we get the knockout. We get the win over our rival. We're going to move right on to Claire. This is our rival Claire, rival sandwich. So she's going to come out with a Dragonair. Hidden Power Ice will one-shot all three of her Dragonairs. Not a problem at all. We don't even have the Never Melt Ice equipped. Actually, it will not knock out the second one. I forgot about that. Wow. So next time we fight this battle, we want the Never Melt Ice equipped. In our optimized playthrough, that's going to be very useful. Luckily, we were still doing pretty well in this battle. We knock out all three. That middle one just must have been a range, because two of them were one-shots. And so now we're going to go for Confusion. We confuse the Kingdra and try to get it to hit itself. It hits itself a little bit. We hit Return. We just got to hit one more Return. We're not quite at the point where it heals. Very good. And we get the close win. Too close for comfort, to be honest. And this is what I mean about not having that one-shot ability. Other Pokemon can hit us with like paralysis and things like that. But we're going to go ahead and fight our last rival battle. Sneasel is a one-shot. Very good. Knock it out. Golbat's going to come out. Hidden Power Ice, a one-shot. Golbat. Very good. Now, Magneton's going to come out. Magneton, we're going to go for Confuse Ray. And just hopefully prevent it from doing a paralysis to us. It goes for Sonic Boom. That's probably the perfect move for it to do for us. And we just have to hit it with something now, knock it out. No paralysis in this battle. So the rest of this battle should be pretty easy. We have a lot of bulk left. It does very little damage to us all. It just tickles us barely. And now we're going to go ahead and face the Haunter. Feint Attack will one-shot the Haunter. And it also should one-shot the Kadabra as well, being a Psychic type. There we go. Knock it out. We beat our rival. Pretty easy, pretty convincing win over our rival. As long as we don't get paralyzed, the rival's pretty easy. Now we're going to move right on to the Elite Four. But before we do, we're going to look at our stats and our moves. So the first one we want to look at, we're level 51. We're holding an item called the Black Glasses. We were able to pick that up Return is one of our moves. We also have the pink bow to make the return better. We also have Confuse Ray. Confuse Ray is going to help us a little bit with some things that we can't control. We do not have the one-shot capacity that we've had with other Pokemon. Confuse Ray is actually a great way to kind of work around that. It gives throws a little bit more chance into the battle, and the chance kind of favors us a little bit more. Feint Attack is our most powerful dark move. The black glasses make that more powerful. And we also have Hidden Power Ice, which will be useful against a handful of things in this battle. So let's go ahead, look at our stats. The stats are already adjusted on the left with our badges, but I'll just go over what they are before the adjustments. Attack is 112, defense is 155, special attack is 107, and special defense is 178, with speed being 112. So not bad stats across the board. Special attack is probably our worst. And as you apply the adjustments, we have pretty decent stats across the board. Just nothing that's going to blow your mind away or blow anything away. But let's go ahead and face our first Elite Four member, which is Will. Being Dark type, we have an advantage over Will. So he's going to come out with 5 Pokemon. The first one is going to be a Xatu. Xatu comes out. We'll go for Feint Attack or Hidden Power Ice, whichever one. The Feint Attack seems to do the job. Very good. Knockout. One more time on the Xatu. Knockout. Very good. And we're not going to learn to move Moon Knight. We're going to ignore that move. And Jinx comes out. Jinx will also go down to a Feint Attack. Oh, no, it won't. It's going to take 2 attacks. There we go. I don't know why they didn't knock it out. Maybe. I don't know. I can always speculate. So one more. Very good. And the last Pokemon is Executor. Executor Feint Attack is a knockout. Very good. Very easy win over Will. Barely even attacked us. We got maybe a couple of damage points done. Now we're going to move on to Koga. Now Koga can be tricky because, like I said, if you don't have that one-hit knockout capability, you can get poisoned. There's a lot of things that can happen here. So the first thing we want to do is go for Return. It does not knock out the Ariados, but it does, not on the first try, but it gets a 2-shot. Now we're going to go and knock out the Venomoth. Feint Attack will do not a one-hit knockout, it's a 3-hit. We get confused a little bit, and we're going to hit ourselves in confusion. Now we get poisoned. So now here's where the not being able to knock out really is detrimental. Knocking ourselves out is going to happen because we're going to do damage to ourselves. We do have a lot of bulk, like I said, but we're not doing much to the fortress. Like I said, we're confused, so he just keeps using Protect and kind of just drawing out the battle, and he's just going to kind of spam us until we lose. So we went and took the reset. We're going to go and face this battle again. Return on the Ariados, still a 2-shot, but instead of going for evasive moves, he goes for Giga Drain, and nothing happened. And so we get the 2-shot. Venomoth will be a 2-shot as well. Venomoth is confused, but we'll get the knockout. Very good. Fortress is going to come out. We're going to go for Confuse Ray. Hopefully it hits itself and doesn't do anything to us. We're going to go ahead and go for Return. How much does a Return do? It's very bulky. This is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. Hidden Power Ice seems to be doing the most damage. Just because it's special, so it's doing the most damage to it. But we eventually get the knockout with no status conditions applied. Muck will come out. We'll go for Confuse Ray on Muck. We don't have a one-hit knockout capability, but we also don't want it to minimize. We also don't want it, well, we minimize right there. And it hits the Sludge Bomb. It could have poisoned us, so that's, something we don't want to happen. So good it didn't happen. We go for Confuse Ray on the Golbat. We're going to go for Hidden Power Ice. We do get paralyzed, or poisoned. So now we're kind of like, it's in a stall-out phase, but we do get the win, fortunately. And we move right on to old Chucky Boy. Or, I'm sorry, Bruno. Bruno is a Fighting-type gym leader. And he's going to come out first with his Hitmontop. This is probably the one where I was most worried about. This is the one I was most worried about. So we're going to go ahead and go for Return. It'll be a 2-shot on the Hitmontop. Now it's going to hit us with a non-fighting move, so it doesn't do any damage. It barely tickled us. So I'm going to move right on to Hitmonlee. It's a 1-shot. Very good. Hitmonchan comes out. And we'll go for Confuse around Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan's going to go for Mach Punch every time. It's a priority move. It does a decent amount of damage to us just because we're weak to it. And so now we're going into Machamp with a decent amount of health. We're going to go for Confuse Ray. If it hits itself and we can knock it out, we're good. The problem is Cross Chop is going to obliterate us. Look how much damage that did. 380 is what that effective damage that move is because we're weak to it. So Confuse Ray on Hitmontop, and that was an attempt to try to get it to not go on the ground, but whatever. And it's going to come back up. Dig. We're going to go for Confuse Ray again. Why do we do that? It digs again. We misclick and hit the wrong button. Yeah, just go for Return. Go for anything other than Confuse Ray right now. Okay. I wish it would hit itself again, but it is what it is. Return. Knock it out. Lot more damage done from that Pokemon than we wanted. It is what it is. But now we're moving on to Hitmonchan. Confuse Ray, Hitmonchan, return. Is it going to be a one-shot? I doubt it. It might now because it hit itself. Very good. Now we're at the Machamp. Now we really are relied upon this move not knocking us out. So there's 2 resets on Bruno. We had no resets prior to the Elite Four, and we've got 3 so far, and we're not even to the most difficult member of the Elite Four. Return is a knockout on the Hitmontop. Hitmonlee, it's a knockout, very good. Hitmonchan again, it's going to go for Mach Punch. We're just going to go for Burp. We're not going to try to confuse it. It hit us twice, not a big deal. We have a little bit more health going into the Machamp. Confuse Ray, Machamp, it hits itself. We're going to go for Return. Do we get a one-shot? We do not. It hits Cross-Chop, but we survive with a lot more health. And then the last Pokemon is a Cakewalk Onix. We use a Hidden Power Ice, and it's a one-shot. So a lot more convoluted and complicated than it usually is with Bruno, but we do get the win regardless. Now here is where the problem happens. And this is where we're going to get pretty much the rest of our resets in this playthrough. First we come across Umbreon. We're going to go for Confuse Ray. Umbreon honestly is not really the problem in this, as crazy as it sounds. It usually is, but it's not the problem. So we get our accuracy lowered. That is a problem in this specific battle. Now we're going to go for Hidden Power Ice. Now it goes for Petal Dance. That's actually the best case scenario right there, because accuracy being lowered is not the worst thing ever, but we got through a couple of our problem Pokemon already. Now Houndoom's going to come out, and it doesn't have anything great against us. Flamethrower does a decent amount, but it doesn't do a lot. It's going to, if we just hit, it would have knocked it out and we'd have won this battle. But now it's burned, so our attack is cut in half. We're not doing as much damage. We're still getting burned, and we're at this point where we're just like, you know what? If we just might as well take the reset right here, and we're going to go to our second attempt with Karen. Confuse Ray again, and the best case scenario with this is Confuse Ray prevents her from hitting us with anything, which is what happens, which is good. So now moving on, I'm like, well, I'm relieved. I got through what's it called? No problem at all. Hidden Power Ice. Oh, we get paralyzed. And now we're going to have the same problem. So now I'm going to reset again because we got paralyzed. So now here's an Umbreon attack again. Attempts. Hits itself. Return. Hits itself. If it doesn't do anything with Feint Attack, I'm not worried about Feint Attack. But now we're confused, which is what I didn't want. And we just got to hit it one time. Just got to hit one time. Very good. We still got a decent amount of health left, so we're fine. We didn't get our accuracy lowered. We're gonna go for Confusion on the Vileplume. It still goes for the paralysis, and it's gonna try it again. It gets the paralysis on the second attempt, and so now this battle, it's really about getting. If we get through that paralysis, there's nothing past this that can beat us. It's getting through that Vileplume's paralysis. I actually don't think Umbreon's the worst problem with this. It's getting paralyzed. We do not have the capacity to one-shot the Vileplume, so we have to play around this Confusion luck a little bit. And the hopefully it misses its attack luck kind of thing. So now we have one Pokemon left, and this could have been a win. Curse hits us, and if we just hit Feint Attack one time, we'd have won that battle, but we didn't. So we got to take another reset, and in kind of the same case scenario here. Going for Confuse Ray, that seems to be the legitimate strategy. We actually did a little bit more damage to Umbreon there than we usually did. It knocks itself out, good. Now Vileplume comes out. We have to go for Confuse Ray. It needs to miss this stupid Stun Spore. It doesn't do it again. Honestly, I should have just kept resetting as soon as it hit. I got paralyzed. We've gotten close a couple times. That's kind of like made me like, if we just get a little bit more luck, we'll win. But I think it's kind of been detrimental that we've gotten that close a couple times. But we still get the knockout. We still have plenty of health left to finish this battle out. We have 2 Pokemon. Houndoom. Flamethrower is not going to do too much to us. What we want to happen is we want Confuse Ray, so it hurts itself while we're trying to hurt it. Return, almost one-shots it, and max health, that's son of a gun. And it's hitting itself in confusion, and we knock it out. We're on the last Pokemon with a lot of health. And then Gengar goes ahead and does the most annoying attack ever. It went for Destiny Bond, which means if we knock it out, we get knocked out. And that just derailed just a successful battle. So I'm like, son of a gun, we got to do this again because we got stupid Destiny Bond. Technically, we won, but we have no other Pokemon to move on, and we don't even have a revive. So I wouldn't even be able to do that. I think technically I could have given a rare candy maybe and then just healed it. So that probably could have done the trick. But we don't go into Elite Four with any other Pokemon. So now here's another attempt where we don't get paralyzed. Thank goodness. We don't have our accuracy lowered. We knock out the Murkrow. Very good. Houndoom comes out. We're going to go for We should just go for return. We're not having any status conditions, so we should go straight for return. And now we have Gengar. Faint attack will be a 2-shot. And he goes for Spite. So we get the knockout finally. We finally get the win over Karen. And we move on to Lance, the liar with the flyers. He comes out with 3 Dragonite, 1 Charizard, 1 Aerodactyl, and 1 Gyarados. 3 Dragon Pokemon, all 6 Flying Pokemon. So the first thing we want to do, we're going to go for return. Gyarados will be a 2-shot. It sets up the Rain. And the Rain, what it does is actually make Charizard unable to use Flamethrower if we knock the Pokemon out quick enough. Dragonite's a 1-shot, very good. We did remember to equip the Never Melt Ice. So I'm trying to see how good or bad return is. So I made a mistake here. Shouldn't have done that. I just want to know how good or bad return was. Return will be a 3-shot, so it's not useful in this battle. So Hidden Power Ice is the better option. So because we got paralyzed, all this stuff's taking a while. And actually, he just got the Omni Boost, which isn't fun. But we do still knock it out. And we still have a chance to win if we can just bulk up and take a couple of his next couple hits. But we don't, and we get knocked out. We lose here just because we were testing something. It's really my fault. So this would have been probably won this battle about an hour and 26 minutes. But because we decided to take a little chance and test out our ranges on return with this Pokemon. This Pokemon, like I said, we don't have a great option. We don't have the alternative like we did with Espeon to use Psychic. We have to use Hidden Power Ice to knock out these Pokemon. And Hidden Power Ice will 2-shot Aerodactyl. Very good. And so now we have 2 Pokemon left with a lot of our health and no status conditions. This is basically a foregone conclusion. Confuse Ray probably should have just gone for return. It hits itself a little bit though, so it helps us out a little bit. Knock out the Charizard, and now we're going to go for the last Pokemon. It's Hidden Power Ice on the level 50 Dragonite. We get the knockout, we get the win. We're just tapping, trying to get this in as fast as possible. We are at 1 hour and 27 minutes, and how many seconds did we get this clocked in? Okay, Umbreon, very good. And 10 seconds. So 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 10 seconds to beat the Elite Four of this game. So just kind of a comparison. I'm pretty sure Espeon beat this game in 1 hour and 20 minutes. So that just shows you how much better Espeon is. Now, obviously, there is an optimized playthrough we're going to do next week. But before we do that, we got to go through and beat Kanto. So I'll see you guys in Kanto. Now, there's not much I really talk about in Kanto anymore because Kanto's pretty much become a breeze. The only thing I'll talk about with Kanto is we have found a way to route this a little bit faster. So we're at 1 hour and 30 minutes right now. And my routing has really sped up this part of the playthrough. I was usually taking about 30 plus minutes to get through Kanto. But with a little bit of help from Scott's Thoughts, he showed me how he routes the game, how routes this region. And with his help, I think I've got this down to about 20 minutes on average. So you can watch the battles. I'm going to talk about a little bit things with the channel. So obviously, we have this new overlay that's been working great. I love it. It gives me a lot more insight. It actually helps me out with a lot more of the battles. So I know what our ranges are, so I pick the best move in certain circumstances and scenarios. Also, we have this layout for Generation 1. And I really want to go back and play through a lot of Pokemon Generation 1. Especially some of the ones I think could have had like great times. Like I want to do a redo of Mewtwo. And when I played Mewtwo before, I didn't. There's certain things I didn't skip over that you would usually skip over with a Pokemon as good as Mewtwo. So I kind of want to do that. There's a couple good Pokemon I want to play through. I want to play through Poliwrath again, or Poliwhirl/Poliwrath. I think they can do really well. I did a versus video with a Gyarados, and I did one of a Gyarados versus Poliwrath. And I think maybe redoing that and seeing ranges on attacks and things would be very helpful. But that's just some of the things I want to do. Now, I don't have all the time in the world. I literally do this between like 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. So every day, before my kids get up or before I have to go to work, whichever one comes first. And yeah, it's squeezing in there, and getting another playthrough done a week is not going to be the easiest thing, but Generation 1 is very fast compared to Generation 2. Generation 2, if you were to sit down and play from Generation 1 on, like you're looking at it's an hour and 40 minutes. There are some things that go into it. When you go to set it up, you have to, go through Universal Pokemon Randomizer to pick your Pokemon. You have to go through PKX and change your stats to get Hidden Power Ice, for example. I actually code in my HM Mules. Sometimes there's items I code in, like, for example, Max Repel, because I don't want wild encounters to be a huge factor in the end time, things like that. So those things are done, and when you add up all the time together, it's over 2 hours. And because there's a lot less of those intricacies in Generation 1, the setup takes about maybe 5 minutes to set up. whereas this one takes about maybe 10 to 15 minutes to set up. It just varies, depends on the Pokemon. But Generation 2 takes a little bit longer to film because you technically have 2 end games. You have the Elite Four, and you also have, obviously, you have Red. So it takes a little bit more, and it is a little bit more, but not too big of a deal. But Generation 1's a lot faster, so I'm hoping to get some Generation 1 videos done. Have like a really, not choppy, but chop it down to like a really short video, and have a review of those battles, which I'm really excited about. I'm really excited because, like I said, I want to do Mewtwo. I want to do a couple others, and see how good or what's the fastest I can get this done for any specific Pokemon. And then with the stuff going on with Generation 2, like right now we're in right smack dab in the middle of the Pokédex. There's some really fun Pokemon coming up. There's like Girafarig, there's Slowking. I've never played with Slowking. We have Murkrow, I think is actually the next Pokemon, so that's gonna be fun. Mischievous. There are some really headache Pokemon. Like we have some 3 gimmick Pokemon in a row, or in like a short amount of time. That's gonna be very frustrating. Wobbuffet's one. Then we have Unknown. Then we have, I would say Shuckle is probably a Pokemon just like that as well. So those are the things we have coming up on the channel that are going to be very fun for you, but very tedious and daunting for me. I'm going to have fun doing it because I just like the challenge and the problem solving aspect. But I just want to let you know those are things coming up. And like I said, if you ever need to know what Pokemon we're playing next, just look at the Pokédex and it'll tell you the next Pokemon. We will do an optimized playthrough. That'll be next Friday. Let's go ahead and watch our dive back into our playthrough and see how our battle against Blue goes. So we're going to 2-shot the Pidgeot. We still have Hidden Power Ice on the moveset. We're going to go for Hidden Power Ice on the Rhydon. It is not a one-shot. It goes for Rainstorm. Sandstorm and knock it out. Very good. And it continues. We have a lot of bulk, so I'm not too worried about this with us. He goes for Rain. He kind of gets rid of the Sandstorm, so that's good. We 2-shot the Gyarados. I'm going to go ahead and go for Confuse Ray. Arcanine can do some things to us. It's not going to do anything crazy good to us because we know we have a lot of bulk and it has no advantage or anything. But we go ahead and get the 3-hit knockout. He's going to full restore. He does it every time. We're going to get the return. If we just get the knockout here, with the other last two Pokemon are going to be like a cakewalk. So go ahead and Confuse Ray. And he gets this very low health. Maybe we should have equipped the leftovers here. But regardless of that, we do outspeed Alakazam. It's a one-shot. And Executor is weak, but it is weak to Shadow Ball. Is it a one-shot? It is not. However, he took in Sunlight to do Sunny Day. Luckily, he didn't go for Egg Bomb. I think we would have survived an Egg Bomb anyway with our bulk. But we beat Blue, and now we're going to move right on to Red. Now, Red is actually a battle that I was concerned about because we have no big hit knockout capability except for on the Pikachu. However, Confuse Ray is the ultimate equalizer. We go for Confuse Ray first thing on the Snorlax. It's 100% accurate, so this move has been fantastic up to this point. So, went for Psychic with the attempt of getting the special drop. We don't get the special drop. He goes for Amnesia, and he ups his special defense. So we're just going to go for Return. We do knock it out. We do have the Pink Bow clip that did help us. Psychic will be a 2-shot on the Venusaur. He takes in Sunlight to do Sunny Day. No problems there. Come out with Charizard. Charizard has a Sunlight boosted Flamethrower he can hit us with. So we confuse it first to avoid getting hit by a Flamethrower. He's still confused. Flamethrower hits us. It actually doesn't do that much damage. I was very surprised at how little damage it did. And now Blastoise comes out. The sun's out, so his water moves. Nope, the sun's not out. I'm sorry. His water moves are gone, so it won't actually affect his water moves. We get a 4-hit knockout on the Blastoise, and now Espeon comes out. We have a ghost move called Shadow Ball. And we're going to hit it, and it's going to be a 2-hit knockout. We get the win over Red on our first try. Very big, very awesome win right there. That was very... I did not anticipate that. But with Confuse Ray and just timing out the moves perfectly, and this was we could have even done better. We could have had the leftovers equipped, but here's the thing, with leftovers equipped, we would have done less damage with Return, and that leaves Snorlax to the possibility of paralyzing us, so maybe it wouldn't be the greatest idea to not use Confuse Ray or to not have the Pink Bow equipped and use leftovers. That's something I'll have to figure out in my optimized playthrough, but this has been a very surprising playthrough. It wasn't too bad. I really much enjoyed it. It's not quite the same type of Pokemon as Espeon, but that's kind of the beauty of the evolutions. They're all different in their own ways. You have like a fire Pokemon in Flareon that has high physical attack, and nothing is stab that's physical in generations 1, 2, or 3, or whenever they did the special split, so that Pokemon just is just weird. But regardless of that, this Pokemon did great. I'm real excited about the optimized playthrough. Check that out next week. Monday will be a prediction. Let me know what you think. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.